Annie had never been much of a dog person. The memory of losing her mother and the pain that followed left little room for anything else. But that all changed when she saw a dog standing over a drain one evening on her way home from work. The dog, a sleek black German shepherd, gazed intently into the drain with an expression that pulled at her heart. His eyes, filled with sadness, seemed to carry a longing that Annie couldn't ignore. At first, she thought it was just another stray, hungry and waiting for a meal. The next day, as she passed the same spot, the dog was there again, still fixated on the drain. Something was different, though. This time, his body stiffened as she walked by, his gaze not just sad, but almost pleading. Annie couldn't help but feel a connection. She stopped, her heart aching for this lonely creature. Perhaps he was hungry, she thought. Maybe someone had abandoned him, leaving him to fend for himself. Determined to help, Annie bought treats and returned to the dog. She placed the food carefully in front of him, but instead of eating, the dog did something utterly unexpected. He picked up the treats, one by one, and slid them into the drain. Shocked, Annie stood frozen, her mind racing. The dog wasn't waiting for food, he was protecting something in that drain. And in that moment, she understood, something was hidden beneath the surface, and it was the dog's unwavering devotion to it that had drawn her in. Her curiosity took over. Annie approached the drain, hoping to uncover the mystery, but the dog immediately reacted. With a sharp bark, he stood between her and the drain, every muscle in his body tense, warning her not to get any closer. His protective instincts were fierce. Annie, usually unafraid of dogs, felt a wave of fear wash over her. What was so important in that drain that this dog would go to such lengths to protect it? She couldn't stop thinking about the dog. Her mind wandered back to her own childhood, how she had once begged her mother for a puppy, a companion to love, only to be told they couldn't afford one. And then, years later, after her mother's death, the loneliness was unbearable. Her grief had consumed her, and even though she had never wanted a dog again, she found herself drawn to this one. Maybe this dog could heal the part of her that had been broken for so long. That night, as Annie lay in bed, she couldn't sleep. The dog's sad eyes and his strange behavior kept haunting her. And so, she did what any curious person would do. She returned to the drain, hoping to uncover its secret. To her surprise, the dog was still there, guarding it like a sentry. She couldn't get close, and she couldn't help but wonder what he was guarding so fiercely. It was then that she decided to try something different. She had to earn his trust. For the next few days, Annie made the same trip, buying treats for the dog and calling him by a new name, Ninja. Slowly, Ninja warmed to her. Each day, he became more comfortable, wagging his tail in anticipation when he saw her. He allowed her to pet him, and they began to form a bond without either of them realizing it. Annie could sense that Ninja was no longer just protecting the drain, he was protecting something far more precious to him, trust. Finally, after days of patient work, the moment arrived. Ninja, now calm and familiar with Annie, allowed her to approach the drain. With her heart racing, Annie knelt down and peered inside. It was pitch dark, but then a faint sound, tiny, barely audible, caught her attention. It was a soft meowing, her breath caught in her chest. Without a second thought, she called the fire department. The firefighters arrived quickly, and within moments, they discovered what Ninja had been guarding, a group of kittens stuck in the drain. But the story didn't end there. The firemen retrieved 6 kittens, each one drenched and scared, but alive. As they were brought to safety, Annie's heart swelled with admiration for Ninja. This dog, who had once seemed so distant and wary, had been their silent guardian. He had noticed the kittens trapped in the drain, and had refused to leave their side. By sharing his treats with them and protecting them from harm, Ninja had saved their lives. Annie took Ninja home that day, a sense of joy bubbling inside her. This time, she wasn't alone in her grief. Ninja, her unexpected companion, was there to fill the void her mother's passing had left behind. As the days went on, their bond grew stronger. She named him Comfort, for he had brought peace back into her life. Together, they navigated the darkness of grief, and for the first time in years, Annie felt complete. In time, the kittens found loving homes, and the internet buzzed with images of Ninja and his heroic actions. People couldn't stop talking about how the dog had saved the kittens, and Annie couldn't have been prouder. The love she had for Ninja grew deeper every day, and the pain of her past seemed just a little more bearable. Ninja, the dog who had saved the hidden secret in the drain, had not only brought her hope, but had also opened her heart again.